So we're now talking to lots more virtual audiences. A lot of the presentations that we're giving are online, at virtual events, online events, whatever we call them. We are not in a room anymore with a lot of the people that we're talking to. And even when lockdown finishes, that is still potentially going to be the way forward for a lot of businesses. We are seeing how effective, how useful it is, how quick, how convenient. And if we're busy people with busy lives and busy jobs, there are great virtual events for us to go to quickly and simply and easily. Now, there are two things to consider. First of all, distraction. It's so key when you're talking to people to have their engagement. You want them to be listening to you, to go away, to do something based on what you've just said to them, to buy from you, to work with you, to remember you. And you need to make sure that you get that from those people. And if they're bored and disengaged, they're not going to get that. And of course, in a real room with people, you've got all these other things that you can call upon to help you get that engagement. It is a lot tougher online because we know that just staring at a screen all day, it is harder to take things in. Secondly, we've got all kinds of distractions going on around us. I've got my mobile phone, I can just sort of put it down there and be looking at you at a meeting and still be kind of typing stuff in. See, I just accidentally turned it on. I've also got another screen up where I could just be sort of catching up on my weekly shop. I could be madly texting my husband to stop messing around and get the children to be homeschooling. All kinds of stuff can be going on, and I'm therefore not potentially listening to the speaker as well as I would be. Secondly, I could also be massively involved in the chat on the side, which is great, still potentially relevant to what you're talking about, but I'm not listening to the next thing you say, and I might just be networking with somebody. All this kind of stuff is going on, which might not be happening so obviously if you were in the room delivering to them. And of course, the other thing is virtual meetings are easy. There are lots of them being provided and set up of varying different qualities. But the point is, there's huge competition now for our time in the virtual space. And if you want lots of people to turn up and listen and pay attention to what you're saying, you've got to beat the competition. And there are clear ways to do that. They are to be working harder for your audience's engagement. That means that your actual content, what you're actually going to say, has to be tighter, it has to be more concise, it has to give value a lot more quickly. A lot of the waffle and flannel that people chuck into their talks, you can't do that anymore. A 40-minute talk in a room, really now I would be skimming that down to 15 minutes. That's mostly what people are going to take. And adding to all of that, if you're going to keep it longer, you want some interactive moments, you want a chance for them to get involved on the chat and talk to you and ask questions. You're chucking polls in and games in. So actually what you're saying is going to need to be tighter and shorter and concise, because that's the way you'll get their attention and keep them more engaged and have them going, that was a great meeting, I'm going to go to another one like that, not like that crappy one I went to before, which was boring and far too long. So that's really why I'm saying you absolutely cannot just shift and relocate whatever you were going to say to the people in person when you're online. It's got to be different, it's got to be better. And it's good in a way that this is all happening, because it's actually being a kick up the bum for all of us, particularly those of us involved in events. We need to be realizing that the competition is now, yes, we'll still love our real life events and we'll still love meetings, but you'll think, God, am I going to go to that long, deadly, boring, dull, all day event? Or could I get a really shorter, tighter, more effective, more valuable experience from a shorter online event? I might not get the networking side of it, but I'll get all the value that I need, hopefully a lot more quickly and a lot more effectively if I go to a really well run virtual event. So it's good for all of us, this competition and this change. So embrace it. Make sure that the speeches that you're giving, the talks that you're giving, the events that you're running are concise, hardworking, valuable, and engaging. Good luck.